just like do the things that bring your aliveness to light. My name's Olivia, and in the show I am Lady VaVa Voom de l'amour, or Lady V. And yeah, what can I say about myself? I live in the Northern Rivers, I live with my partner. I run a business that I love, helping women to create their own businesses and support themselves financially, and really like just get through that imposter syndrome and create what you want to create. I love burlesque, I love my pickleball, and I'm an actor. I've been performing for a long time, but in like theatre, on stages and sets, so burlesque was definitely new territory for me, but such a delight to explore this and to explore this kind of storytelling. I think because it was definitely edgy for me. This was definitely me leaning into an edge, and I had a lot of fear and resistance come up. But I always have this thing of like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it 100%. It's like that go big or go home. So when I made the decision to do this container and to do the solo stars specifically, I knew that I was going to choose a really big song. Like that was from the get-go. I knew I was going to choose some kind of ballad. It was probably going to be a bit old school or from like another, generation or time, but that, lasts the eras. Once I landed on a song, Proud Mary, that kind of informed everything. That informed the character creation, the kind of emotions and feelings, not just what I wanted to feel, but what I wanted to conjure up with our audiences as well. And whatever I was trying to let go of, I was like, I wonder if I can be that permission slip for them to let go of. And so the more I went into this process, it was like, well, what's even more of an edge? Where can I get bigger? Where can I get more expansive? Where can I get a bit naughtier? Like I was always just looking for that extra something in the layer of the story. And so as a result, like I did end up coming up with things that did genuinely surprise myself, where I was like, oh my God, am I actually gonna do that? When I'd have that thought, I was like, well then, yeah, that's my answer. Like if I'm surprising myself, then clearly I've got to do this, So I don't know if that makes logical sense for other people, but for me, it was like an indication that I was meeting my edge. Yeah, and when it's like the fear's coming out, but you've also got excitement. And that's when it's like, that's the intuitive force, that's the gut intuition or whatever you refer to it as. It's like when the excitement is present, even though the fear might be loud, it's like, that is something I've got to do.
Then you're onto something.
Yeah. Part of the story is like discovering the wild women, in my act. But that was also the recognition of when I first came to the show going, I think I've got to do this because I think I've got that in me to do it. So I don't know what when like life mirrors art mirrors life, like that was very much integrated into my performance. And, also just starting off as a very specific character that had a lot of masking and, through shedding and stripping and releasing throughout, the performance, it was really stripping back to what is at the core of VaVa Voom, what is at the core of Olivia. And through that process, it was like, oh, there's so much playfulness, there's so much joy, there's so much cheek, there's so much, sexual expression and creative force. So, and that is part of who I am, but it was like this character and this container that was a permission slip for me to just channel that, which is cool. It's just so amazing. Like, if things can slow down sometimes when you're in the moment. And, I had rehearsed that I do this final thing and then I get down off the desk and I leave the stage. That's what we had rehearsed. But in that moment of receiving that beautiful feedback, I was like, oh, this is where I get to actually play. This is where there's that lovely, magical ad-libbing and improvisation and relationship that I just get to have with the audience because I'm present and open and actually them starting to see and feel what's going on, and that wasn't part of the rehearsal, right? So it was such a surprise to have VaVa, Voom and that story received that way. It would, like, genuinely, I was surprised, and it just felt so good to be, it felt like that ultimate homecoming, you know, as an actor who hasn't actually performed on stage for quite a few years now. It just felt like, oh, that's right, I love this. I love doing this. I love this relationship with the audience and this exchange that is so unique that we get to have, that we don't always understand consciously what the exchange is. You know, that ripple effect and that integration can happen days or weeks later, but there has been an exchange here. So it's so nice to receive that appreciation and to know that I've made some sort of impact, whatever that was, whatever meaning they made out of my performance for their life. I'll never know, but to receive that appreciation is a really beautiful thing. There's those simple quotes, not simple, it's like feel the fear and do it anyway, but I want to say, like, just turn yourself on. Like, in this lifetime, do the things that turn you on, and don't wait for someone else to give you that permission slip, because we all have a different lens, and we come to every table, every relationship, every commitment in the week, we're coming to it through our own lens, and so we can't wait for others to give us that permission, because through their experiences, this is something that may be too edgy for them. So we've got to really be that own cheerleader for ourselves and listen and tune in. And if we're feeling that rattle or that, you know, your creation center, if it's erupting, we need to tune into this and just go, yeah, that's turning me on, and do the follow through. Recognize it and do the follow through, because when you turn yourself on, and I know that can sound like just sexual as well, which, I mean, you should do it for that too, but I mean, just like do the things that bring your aliveness to light. Because I feel like if you do that, then you're on track to living a really bloody good life.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Hey, amazing.